Hello, everyone. This is Chala Dincoy, CEO and founder of the Repositioning Expert, coming to you with another edition of my podcast, the Naked Marketing Podcast, where we talk about our honest mistakes. I'd like to introduce my guest, JJ DiGeronimo. Welcome to the show, JJ.
Oh, I'm thrilled to be here. Thanks for having me.
So tell us what you do and who you help.
Oh, well, I am a woman in business expert and I work to advance women in the workplace.
Tell us about that. How do you do that?
That's a good question because for me, a lot of things, my human design, everything, all of my spiritual work says I have to do it with myself first before I can help others. And that's really how my journey began. You know, I have 2 decades in the tech industry, a lot of which in Silicon Valley. And when I said yes to a lot of things like, yes, I'll spend my life with you. Yes, we can procreate. It made my work life incredibly difficult in a lot of ways because, you know, I used to be able to spend 100% of my time on my joy, which is my work. And I realized how much we have to juggle and struggle to actually get to those milestones when so many things are pulling at our heartstrings and our time and our schedule.
So how long did you spend in the corporate world?
So over 2 decades, but I did write my first book. Let's see, I started in 94. I wrote my first book and published it in 2011. And then I left corporate America in 2014. So it's exactly 20 years.
My God, congratulations. So was that a decision based on, so like I worked for Pepsi, Pizza Hut, Frito-Lay for 18 years and I was like, done. You know, I was done. I was not gonna go out and get another corporate job. But what was the impetus for you to leave?
Well, I had been working a long time on getting my speaking platform together. And when I started to get paid to speak and realized it was really difficult to juggle my day job and the speaking, even though my company was incredibly supportive, I really just had a real calling to work more with women. So I did what everybody does. I went to Sedona for 4 days and I was like, what the heck? Should I leave corporate America? Like this is my aspiration, but I'm getting pulled in this direction to do this work with women. And all indicators in Sedona were like, you got to go help women. And I'm like, all right, that's what I'll do.
And so how do you, and this is the marketing question, because this is the marketing show. How do you find your clients? Because I'm sure from the outside, you can't really tell if they're melting down.
Well, and the funny thing is I'm not a coach, so I don't do a lot of coaching. I'm a one-to-many, which makes it even harder because I have to find ways to get into women's groups and do things where women come together collectively. And so my main platform has been LinkedIn.
Okay, well, tell us how you're using LinkedIn then, especially during the pandemic.
Yeah. So in 2008, I started a women's group here where I live. And I did it because I wanted to get advice to women to how to keep everything going in the right direction. So out of a personal need, I started a women's group to bring my clients together, other women in the tech field. And that has just continued to grow. So that was my platform. I did not build a website. I used a LinkedIn group to get it going, which as many marketers know, you don't own it. So it's a little challenging. But to this day, it continues to grow. It's over 6,000 women globally.
Wow, I am so impressed.
Yeah.
Because I was just making all sorts of money traveling from Canada to the US to do conferences. And I would speak for 60 minutes and close 6 figures in the next 60 minutes. And come COVID, the borders closed. So, I mean, I was in the fetal position at the beginning of COVID and I had to figure out what you did is that you have to figure out how to get a funnel going online. So how are you making use of that LinkedIn group?
Yes. So I use so that LinkedIn group for me was a way to get keynotes for a long time because I would constantly be posting. I have hundreds of articles I posted on LinkedIn, a lot of pictures of events I'm having. I tag people, I share resources, very similar to how you just use other social platforms. But because I work B2B, that was a really natural step for me to use. And I'm getting ready to start a B2C part of my business, which I'll be moving some of my business off of LinkedIn into a community-based software.
Wow, that is so great. So now let's get to the naked marketing part. Let's talk about your mistake that you made.
Yes. And I'm sure if any of you are listening, you sometimes I'm like, should I post that? Should I do that? And in hindsight, now that I'm getting ready to find an agent and a publisher for my third book, my numbers matter. And I always thought, I'm not going to be one of those people that are like, give me your email address, or I'm going to send around a sheet. And I was just telling a friend of mine the other day how much I could kick myself now, because a lot of agents and publishers want the numbers. How many people are on your list? How many people are in your groups? And I'm an avid cleaner outer. Like if they don't participate in 4 or 5 years on my list, I clean them out. And I should have left everybody on my list, one, but two, I should have been more, I guess, supportive of myself, of what I was sharing. Like I almost didn't believe I was worth it.
Mm.
And for me, when you don't feel like you're not sure if what you're doing is really worth it, I had a lot of my energy and self-worth tied up in my tech job, my tech title, my tech salary. So when I went on my own, it took me years. I mean, I left in 2014, it's now 2021, and I finally feel like I'm stepping into who I really am and what I have to offer and believing that the world needs it. And that took me like 7 years to do. And in the process, I missed out on a ton of opportunities to showcase and ask and create something that I could now build on even further. And so if you're starting out now, or you've been doing this 10 years, like you're worth it, your work matters, and ask for the exchange. Don't give everything away for free, which is what I was doing. And I really needed to reciprocate more to validate or build or create my brand in a way that I could help me a lot now. And that is one of my biggest mistakes, is I didn't ask for that exchange earlier on.
So let me understand this. The value that you placed on yourself was reflected in your lack of asking for them to exchange their information for the information that you were giving them.
Yes. Yes, I gave it away for free. I wasn't like, hey, if you put your email on this, I'll send you the document. Or if you do this, I'll do that. And I was like, oh, just have it. You need it. Just have it. But if I really had to dig in, it's because I did not value 100% of what I was doing. And I didn't believe that I was worth that exchange.
Yeah. Well, there you go, folks. That's pretty naked right there. I mean, that's one very, very, knowledge, like good self-knowledge of yourself. And two, it's very vulnerable of you to share that. So my hat's off to you. I think, they say awareness is half the battle, right? So, I mean, that's what you do for people, is obviously you bring that awareness to them and then help them climb through whatever self-doubt that you have to get to that they have to get to the next level. So what, parting marketing advice do you have for our viewers?
I think the thing that I've learned over the years is it's never just one piece, one hit, one article, one press release. For me, it has been a million little steps, but something I've had to work at every single day. Every single day. And of course, I meet many people now that are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe how many this or how many that, or you've done this. And if people ask me, well, what was the one thing? There is no one thing. The one thing is I get up every morning and work at it every day. And I think for many of us,
yeah,
that's what it takes. That's what it takes. And so I put a lot of things on my calendar that I will not dismiss until I do it. Like I look at help a reporter out. I post, a quote. I get a picture out there. Every week I have them in my calendar and I will not dismiss it until I do it. And over time, those little things have added up to big things.
That's wonderful. So where could people reach you, JJ?
Well, I think for many of you who are out on any social platform, you can find me under JJ DiGeronimo. But for many of us, my new love is I started a podcast this year, Career Strategies for Women That Work. And I was kicking and screaming. I didn't want to do it. It was going to be so much work. But honestly, it has been a big game changer for my business of reaching people globally in new ways. And I give away free handouts and worksheets, which then I get the email in exchange. So hopefully you'll meet me there.
Thank you so much for being a guest, JJ.
Thank you. What an incredible